Hi, you guys. Welcome back to an episode of Cousin to Cousin Pod, where you can experience our cousinship firsthand. I'm Mara.
And I'm Jordan.
And today we have a special guest here with us. His name is.
I'm Coach Hood.
Coach Hood. All right, y'all. So buckle up because today we have one of my best friends joining us. He's been around for my glow up. He's been around for some of the heartbreaks and the tea, the text receipts, all of that. He's also been Cupid for me. So he always provides a good laugh. I'm excited to have him on here. Some great perspectives and some real answers. So please welcome our guest, D Hood. To me, he's D Hood Love Bug. That is the name. He's been in my phone for probably like 12 years now or so, with like a little ladybug by his name, which is like one of our insiders. But yeah, he goes by D Hood. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're up to, what you have going on.
Well, hello everyone. As you know, my name is D Hood. I'm Demonte Hood, but I go by D Hood, Coach Hood. I met Jordan at Kansas State where I played football, and I know a lot, right? I know a lot of stories, a lot of funny stories, a lot of great juicy information there. But a little background about myself. I went to school for family service in human ecology, and I've been teaching for about 3 years now, coaching and teaching. And don't ask me how I got into teaching because I don't know. It kind of happened and it just took over. And so I've been teaching and coaching for about 3 years here at Joshua, Texas, at the high school here. And I mean, loving, funny, caring guy. Uh, I don't know. You just have to kind of ask me a couple questions. I can give you a little feedback.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be asking you some questions. Starting off with, we want to know what your ick of the week is. So every week we kind of have something. We either do something we find interesting or our ick of the week. So Mira, how to use her government name.
Well, now everyone knows, so thanks, Jordan.
Start us off with your ick of the week or your fun fact.
Okay. And I know I was really the one that was advocating for us to also share something like positive if it's not going to be an ick, but it is an ick this week because, and I'm.
Yeah, back-to-back icks.
I hate that I'm always so icked out, but I am. So my ick this week is actually when you are going, it's gym related again because you guys, I am just on a journey and this is just what I'm experiencing. So I actually go to this workout class on, a weekly basis now, and it's called Bands and Booty. Okay. So I'm there to really be building that booty. But my ick is like when people run the class that don't actually have the ass or, the booty. So it bothers me that I'm being instructed by someone who doesn't have the booty in a bands and booty class. And it's really my ick because I'd rather be having someone that has an actual peach teaching us ladies in the class how to build that. Because how am I supposed to trust that my butt's actually going to get to where it's supposed to go if I'm looking at you and that's not the case? And
because she's trying to build hers too. Like maybe she's trying to guide that thing.
She's actually so muscular that like there's probably not even just an ounce of like natural fat on her body, but it's also just like I'm not here to build the muscle booty. I'm here to build the peach. So I need like some support there. But anyways, that's my ick.
Come on.
Wait, what'd you say?
Sound like she got a strong butt, and she's been building that butt too long. Some squats and hip thrusts.
Yeah, it's like she's not doing that outer glute muscle, whatever it's called. She's not really focused on that. It's just giving like
she just needs some cornbread. Give her some sweet cornbread and give her some soul food, and it'll start to build up back there. Don't even worry. Tell her just give her a meal every now and then.
A meal. She needs a meal.
And every now she probably needs to know more than every now and then. Well, I'm gonna start eating cornbread then. If that's the cheat code, but I just wanted to actually go to my butt though. I'm not gonna keep eating cornbread if it's going to other places. I don't have time for that. So I think maybe coupling that with the workout. But yeah, I'm just not really sure how I'm going to see the results when I don't have faith in my instructor. So that's my ick.
I think you just don't like her in general.
It's that too, but I'm gonna keep going to the class and see it through for at least a couple more weeks, and then we'll have a better assessment.
You have to stay the course. Just keep putting that work in, because it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So don't forget that. That booty gonna get you. Just work.
Right. Coach can't help himself but to motivate.
Come through.
Oh, snap.
All right. What's your ick of the week or your fun fact of the week?
Okay, my fun fact that right now, I have these side projects that I do. So currently, I work on my book at least 3 times a week, and then I work on my truck that I just got. It's a 1995 F350 Ford truck. So I'm rebuilding the engine. So every day I take 1 or 2 pieces off the engine. So if that's an alternator or a water pump, AC compressor, I take it off and then I go sit down somewhere. Now
You're
that's
not
kind of
fixing
what I
it.
do. Yeah, I am, but I'm not rushing to fix it. You understand? It's more like I'm patient with it. Because I gotta remember where I put everything. I gotta remember the vacuum lines and stuff. So that's kind of like a project I do. Now I would say my ick of the week is, I do work with youngsters, young men, young women. Okay. And it's summertime right now. This is the time for football, basketball, soccer, whatever sport you play, to be putting in work to get better. And the ick of the day for me is when people have expectations, but their actions don't meet their expectations. So, for example, if I say I want to go to the NBA, the NFL, but I'm at home eating Oreos and cheeseburgers when it's time to go work out and run and enjoy my craft, then I'm not going to get there. And then when
Right.
these kids or people in society don't get those results that they want, they start crashing out and being depressed. So that's my ick, and I try to help, kids, young folks, myself, not suffer from, not knowing how to make your actions meet your goals. You know what I'm saying? They need to be side by side. That's my ick. It's kind of like with your instructor not having no booty. She ain't putting that work in the kitchen,
Right.
eating that cornbread, eating them that lamb chops, or whatever it is to put protein back there.
Okay, y'all are a little more deep than mine. Mine is just like an annoyance. I feel like, why am I looking at my email and there's 2,000, 3,000 emails? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're blowing me up every day with all these coupons and buy this to get this. I went and I was like, I'm just going to unsubscribe. I'm just going to start unsubscribing because I don't have time. Why can you really not unsubscribe? Like, I unsubscribed and I'm still getting the emails. So I'm like,
It's so many steps to unsubscribe to something.
yeah, it's like I unsubscribed and then it's like I go to the website and they're like, confirm if you really want to unsubscribe. And I'm like, yes, I really want to unsubscribe, but it's like I'm still on your email list.
It's crazy.
And I don't like it.
I've unsubscribed before, and it told me it was going to take 2 to 3 weeks to get me off of the list. And I feel like I'm still, it was like Walgreens or something, but I feel like I'm still on
They
that.
didn't take you off.
They didn't take me off.
They don't want to hear from you for another 3 weeks.
That's
That's what they want to do.
They gonna keep putting it in your face, hoping that you make a mistake and buy something that you don't need, or subscribe to something that you're not even interested in. But
Of
yeah,
course.
that's a loophole right there, because I know what you're talking about. Because my AOL email will send me a notification saying, "Hey, would you like to be unsubscribed from all these emails that you haven't opened?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." Boom, I press unsubscribe. Man, about 10 minutes later, they back in my DMs. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's a scam. They're definitely not unsubscribing us. So nowadays, they were like, "Do you have an email?" No, I don't have an email.
They getting
I
crafty.
don't.
They getting
They're
crafty
getting
because
crafty.
you
My mom be
attach your
putting her
phone
house
to
phone
your
number
email.
down on things, so then it doesn't really go anywhere. She's not getting the text, the reply, no,
Right.
yes, stop, whatever. But
Exactly.
yeah. So
All right. So to give some background, I know Hood kind of mentioned it. Like we met in college at K State. He was on the football team. And so like we just kind of had like a small group of friends that were pretty close. And then they ended up leaving, and then we ended up staying and became closer. And so, funny enough, Hood actually, the song that you guys hear when our episodes play, like the intro and outro song, he created that for us. So I kind of just wanted to ask you, like, talk a little bit about producing music and like what goes into like even just the song you made for us or whatever. Like, what is a typical day like with that?
So music has always been a part of my life. Growing up, I was forced. Now I was forced to sing in the choir. My grandma and my mom forced me to sing in the choir. And for so long I didn't want to sing. So I found out how to create sounds, like doing the drums, playing the piano, um, playing instruments that they had at church to offer. So that's kind of where that started at. And then I got a little older and I started listening to rap music. Man, I know y'all know Drake. I know y'all know Kendrick. I know y'all know Nipsey, all these great artists. And I started listening to that music. And it started to do things for me. Because when I was in college, I used to do the motivational speeches, and I would create instrumentals to motivate me to speak. So like music has always been a part of my journey, of my life, of my journey in my life. And I think for me, it allows me to be myself wholly, not worrying about what anybody else thinks, because music don't judge you. It just allows you to use it to its fullest capabilities. And that's just kind of like where I got the music, is being able to voice myself without saying words.
I like that. That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. But
it
I
might
do feel
it
like
might be too deep. It might be too deep, my bad, but I
no,
can't
but
help.
I do feel like the creative mind is a very like deep mind. Like people who are very artistic are like very deep people. So I like that. I actually didn't even know that it came from you um doing the motivation. I knew you did the motivational speeches, but I didn't know that that's where it stemmed from. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, he's a he's a motivational guy, which I'm sure you guys have picked up on. And so there's this like joke that we say at my house now, and he'll say like the dinner table is set, let's eat. That's his
Let's
like
see.
one of his
Yeah,
things. But
yeah, let's see.
so yeah, so when you're not producing, you're obviously coaching somebody somewhere, and you went from playing football to coaching. So and Samira, she kind of has some. I'm sorry, I keep saying Samira's,
it's
but
okay. It's my name. It's cool.
I don't wanna get canceled, on my own pod. But
Right.
but she works with kids as well, like she has in the past. So what would you say, like, are these kids these days really as bad as people make them out to be? Or what is your perspective on, because you're working with like an older set of kids? So
Okay. Well, I would say, like I always compare to my childhood. I think these kids are more distracted than we were as kids. Cause I didn't have no TikTok growing up. I mean, YouTube was just coming around. We didn't have no Snapchat. I think Snapchat came around when we was in college. So I think
You
that,
have more access to things
yeah,
now.
they have more access to these things that can be either detrimental to them or something super cool and super positive. Like, cause I deal with these kids every day and I see them. Some of them can't put their phone down. They be in class with the headphones on. And we got rules and regulations. They just can't abide by them because they just can't live without their phone or whatever
they're
attachment
addicted.
they have to social media. So I would say these kids, they're not all bad off, because if you grab their attention right in a healthy way, and and just give them that feedback and that attention they need, then they're super smart, super awesome. Because my niece is, but I think she's 4. No, she's like, yeah, 4 years old, and she's already reading like on a first and second grade level, and that's because we put that tablet in front of her and helped her understand how to like sound words out with like phonics and stuff. So I think these kids are smarter, but they're way more distracted than we were as kids. They could be super smart, and it's the same way they could be super smart. They could be super dumb, make super dumb decisions,
I
right?
agree. I feel like it's all about how they are applying themselves and the resources that they have to be able to know. Like, you have all these tools at hand, and you are more fortunate because you have access to all these additional like resources that maybe we didn't have in the early 2000s or the late 90s or whatever. But it's how you guys are utilizing the resources that you have access and how you're spending time to them. And also, just nowadays, I mean, like, are you teaching high school or
Um,
no?
yes. My first year, I was teaching at the ninth grade center, world history, and that's not us. Kids don't take that subject serious.
Yeah.
I had to lock a couple kids, the whole year. We were almost locked in that classroom, But so I taught history my first year, and my last 2 years I've been working in an alternative school, and that
Okay.
alternative school is just basically where the kids that be vaping or just can't get right in class or skip school, or sometimes they're just going in there to transfer to another school and they gotta sit and wait. But I'm at the alternative school right now, and I also help out in the SPED department.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed because I don't necessarily work like with that high school age group. But when I travel for work in my current job, I go to high schools and do different like presentations and informational sessions. And I just see it being so different than what it was like when I was in high school. And it actually made me cry when I left the high school that I went to in Nevada. I was like, wow, because the kids really don't do anything all day long. And they're working in packets or on their laptops, even with the teacher right there in front of them. And I just remember like, I felt kind of like our generation was the last like generation of genuine like education happening. So I appreciate the teachers that are still showing up in the field authentically and allowing the students to actually like learn and not just in there sitting at their desk while the kids working in a packet, because it was really sad to see a whole high school, and I visited like 6 different classes, and it was just like consistent all the way across the board. And I'm just like thinking, this is our future, these are our future children. And it's like no shade, but I also feel like the teachers were about my age. So what are you guys doing in this field to change that perspective for students, or to make sure that they are being attentive in class, or they are actually taking something away from their experience in school before they're going off to college, if that's what they're doing post high school? So I don't
Okay,
necessarily know if it's a matter of them being bad or just not applying themselves really and
awesome. That's
having
an
too many
awesome question.
distractions.
That's an awesome question. Growing up, I would always hear, "You don't have to be ready if you stay ready," right? And then you familiar with this term? If it's not broke, don't fix it,
Don't fix
right?
it.
So I think those two things you think about, like these kids are very gifted with electronics, right? So in the school, they start bringing in more electronics where it gets their attention. It draws the kids' attention more. So like when I started my freshman year, I did a lot of stuff from the book. I mean, we were reading out the book, and I mean, I could see the kids were like, I can't stand this class. But we always got to read the book. We doing reviews from the book, and I'm like, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let me go and bring in a couple of assignments on the tablets that we use, the
Right.
Chromebooks. We've been using computers and technology in school forever.
Meet them
So
where they're at.
yeah, meet them halfway. Yeah, you said it. So you
Mhm.
gotta meet them halfway. If they're gonna be on their phones, let me send a lesson plan through there. You know what I'm saying? Let me send updates through there, right? If and that's like their Chromebooks is basically their phone. I mean, they still have their phone, but they can do anything on those Chromebooks. We do block certain websites to keep them from getting fully distracted, but like incorporating technology in to the schoolhouse has made a great change. It's giving them a better head start than we did because we didn't have access to things the tip of our finger like these kids do. So I see what you're saying, but I see those kids too that aren't taking advantage of this opportunity, And there's kids that are, and they're excelling, and they are phenomenal. They're gonna do great things in the world. I'm making sure I keep a good network, good connection with them. Might need a job, who knows? But but there's a lot of good things that they're doing at the school, especially here at the school I work at with technology. Some schools don't have the budget to get
The
access to these things,
resources.
and those schools suffer a lot. But this school is kind of like in the middle. Like they got the money for some areas and don't have the money, and you can see it changing. Like I've seen it change since I got here, and I've been here. This is going on year 3, and I got a lot of bad things to say, but I got a lot of good things to say too. So I would just leave it on a good note that if you meet them halfway and make the lesson fun, make it something they want to remember and share with their parents or their friends, and then that's just kind of how you change the world, one piece at a time.
Okay. So with that being said, I know you're in the classroom, but I've heard these kids ask you questions. They've asked you relationship advice before. I've heard it firsthand, and I was rolling because this girl was like, "Coach Hood, do you think we're gonna make it like past high school?" And he was like, "No, I don't." Um, just very blunt with these kids, but I think that is good, and I think that it's important to have somebody in your back pocket who's like, "Let me be real with you," and that's who Hood has been for me. So, with that being said, I want to start the locker room confessions and kind of get some questions going. I know there's some burning questions that women have about guys, and I think this is a good person to kind of ask those questions for. So, Samira, do you want me to kick it off with the question, or do you want to?
You can kick it off with a question. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I think it's a question we all kind of want to know. We'll start light. Do men really talk about women in the group chat?
Hey, y'all trying to get me to be all right. Well, you're absolutely right. We do. I'm telling you right now, yo, but all you women out there that want to know if we talking about you in the group chat, heck yeah. And if you was a bad, your breath stink, you're ugly, you don't clean well, we talking about you. If you was a great
Oh,
person, if you was a really awesome person, you're not hitting the group chat. I'm telling you right now, for this one reason, because we want to keep other guys' eyes off of our prize. You understand what I'm saying? So if you in the group chat, you lost. Like you might as well, if you find out you in the group chat, just go ahead and leave because you've been exposed. Right? If you're not in the group chat, it's because that guy don't want to share anything about you because he don't want anyone to understand the awesomeness, the prize, the diamond that he has in his possession. So that being said, I answered it fast without getting into too much. But yes, if you in that group chat, you lost them, sweetheart. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? It's done.
so you don't want to be in the group chat is what we're taking from
You don't
this.
want to be in the group chat. If you in the group chat,
They don't care.
you're done. It's over with.
Okay. So if you're a girl and you're going through, your man's phone or something, and you don't see that he's talked about you with his friends or in the group chat, that's actually a good thing, not a bad thing.
It's a good thing because
Okay. Just so the
like
ladies understand, like that.
it's a good thing. If you in that group chat, and it depend on his friends too. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a couple group chats where I'm like, all right, I could be cutthroat in here all the way, and then there's some group chats I'm like, well, they can't handle hearing me talk this way. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be that way in that group chat. But for the most part, if you in a group chat with a group of guys, it ain't good. I'm just telling you now. Because
I
I
have
don't.
I have a question, just still in the group chat realm of things. So for guys, what is it like? Say there is a girl in the group chat, right? That's being discussed or talked about. But then what if you have a homeboy in the group chat that maybe is interested in somebody that, someone else in the group chat is? And then they also have some type of encounter with that girl too. Are you guys then going to roast the guy that had an encounter after this girl's been lit up in the group chat, but maybe the other guy sees a different perspective of her? Do you guys be looking at it like that? Or is it like once she's in the group chat, she's fair game? Or is it acceptable for the guy that put the girl in the group chat to be mad if someone else in the group chat shoots their shot at her? Like, is that a thing that happens with guys or no?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I've seen it happen before. I experienced it happen before. Um, but that's and a lot of things. Like for me, I don't discuss necessarily who I love. You know what I'm saying, or who I'm in with. You know what I'm saying. I don't let 1,000 guys or 10 guys know my business because I've done it before, and I end up seeing that same girl I was with be with him, and because I put her in that group chat. You know what I'm saying, and so guys will say, "Hey man, who know this girl?" Just like a girl would, man, who know this guy? It's the same thing. And if your homeboy say dog, he just drop an emoji in there. You know what emoji I'm talking about? And you like, oh dang, gotta give it back to the streets. Gotta give it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you don't, and I say this, and I don't. I mean, for the listeners, for young women, older women, or whoever our crowd may be, that's why you got to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't be sending no nudes. You can't be sending no pictures out. You can't be being thirst traps or being put in a thirst trap because once you send that information, it's for everybody. Because you will get put in that group message. I'm just telling you, be cautious who you talk to. Because in a group message in my younger days, I didn't see some stuff and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I gotta look at this person and talk to this person, knowing what your boyfriend did, or who you talking to, put in group message. So be careful because that girl may not even be a bad girl. You know what I'm saying? She might be a sweet princess that just like to, that just got taken advantage of. And
By one of the homies in the group chat.
homie. So, but now they view you that way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why you gotta be careful because you may not be a bad person, but you get put in that group chat, they're gonna treat you differently.
Mm.
It's different expectations now. Oh, she go live, man. That's how I'm coming at her now. But if she ain't ever in that group chat, hey man, say you know her. Nah, the whole time I know her. You can't have that one, dog. Mm-mm. She might get a ring
Okay,
on that.
I got a question then. So, locker room talk or whatever, you've been a part of different teams and stuff like that. So, is there kind of like some type of code, like, because to girls, like there should be some type of girl code, right? Like, do guys have some type of code, or is it kind of just a free for all? Like you're saying, no, you don't know her the whole time you're talking to her. So then it's like, are you both trying to pursue the same person or whatever? Like, what is that kind of code? And like, if he has talked to this person, is it still free game, or like, what is the line there for guys?
Well, nope. I mean, when you find your spouse, you find your person you love, and that you want to spend life with, she's already shared experiences with other people, right? Right. So that's something that maturity comes in where you got to be able to look at it and be like, I don't care who you had, who you shared your love with before, right? So when we're thinking like, and I'm breaking it down when I was younger, because right now, currently, as an older man, I don't really have a group chat where I'm just talking about a woman, you know what I'm saying? Or talking like when I was younger, we had those group chats and we were immature at that time. You know what I'm saying? So um to answer, can you say your question one more time so I make sure I answer it as best I can?
I was just kind of more so towards the younger days, right? So, like, for guys, is there
A
a
code.
boundary or like a
Yes.
code? Yeah, like, okay, Hood was talking to her, so the homie's not going to talk to her, or your homeboy's talking to her, I'm going to leave that alone, type of thing.
Now, that code only exists with people you have relationships with, right? And sometimes when you have relationships with those people, and I mean like your bro, your friend, those lines get blurred because of immaturity and lust, right? So when you have that code, it's got to be with like your best friend. It can't be with somebody you just met because they're not gonna honor that code. You know, I can't like if well, I don't bring names up, but like I can't go mess with my bro's woman that he's been with for 2 years, 5 years, as soon as they split. You know what I'm saying? That's off limits for the rest of my life because I love my brother and I love what we have. Right? I love
So
my
Hood, does that make you a bad friend if you do? Because honestly, I can think of some like
Yes.
guys that I know that maybe I knew he was with this girl for X amount of time, a couple years, whatever. But now someone who he used to claim as a homeboy, which they might not even be friends anymore, I don't know, but he used to claim as a homeboy, then is running around dating somebody that I recall him being with. And is it safe to assume that that friendship's probably was never a real friendship to begin with if they were able to do that? Or is it, no, we've just really always loved each other and that's what happened. Like I didn't mean to hurt anybody in this situation. I just always loved him. But is that shady on both ends? Or how do you feel
It's
about that? If real love was really a thing, like, or that's not real.
No, real love is a thing. But even if there is a thing, there's a way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I love my homeboy's girlfriend forever and they split up and I just go seize the moment or seize the opportunity without being like, hey, look, man, I waited 30 years for this opportunity, bro. I'm not missing this. Look, you had your time. Like communication to me is key. Now, if you think that communication isn't going to go well, I still think you say, hey, look, man, I'm going for it. You know, I love her. And if like if my friend came to me and said that to me, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm not gonna stand in the way of that love. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want, just know, you know what the pictures in my head are. You know what I'm saying? Like I was with her. So just know
Mhm.
that that memory is never going to cease because you are with her now. Those memories I have, I share with her will never go away. So I don't think you're a bad person. I do think it could be perceived very conniving. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't have that conversation and you want that love that bad, man, go for it. Because at the end of the day, the only people that know this transaction happened is the people that know. Everybody else don't know anything. They looking at two happy couples. But I wouldn't say you're a bad person unless you all up in your friend's face acting as if you never had any affection. And as soon as they split, your homegirl all on your ex-man's, that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something there
Mhm.
that make me want to punch on something. You know what I'm saying? But
I'll say this though. I'll say this. I don't think guys realize how many of their homeboys, and maybe you're not as close, like, okay, so maybe you're in the same fraternity, maybe you're in the same cohort, you're on the same team, whatever. I don't think guys realize how many of their friends are waiting in
Plotting
for
on their
their shot.
girl.
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
think they realize that. And I experienced that, before, where you're like, damn, that's supposed to be your
mm,
Latin brother or whatever. That's supposed to be your fraternity brother. And he over here talking bad about you, trying to see what's up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think guys really know how much of that is going on.
Yeah. And I also just think to add to that, Jordan, that there is a weird element. Like I've been in a situation where I've hung out with like the person I was dating was friends at that time. And then after hanging out with them, their friends are trying to add me on Instagram or do whatever. And I'm like, I think that's kind of weird if the friend knew that I was there with said person and now they think it's appropriate to follow me on Instagram or add me on Snapchat or, swipe up on my pics or whatever the case is because it's like, aren't you supposed to be the homeboy? And aren't y'all supposed to be friends? And I guess I wonder why guys do that. Like, is it a thirst thing? And is that really your friend? If that's what's going on? And honestly, if it's my boyfriend and their homies doing that, I actually tell them, I'd be like, hey, your boy's over here trying to
Yeah,
be.
if it's your boyfriend, you gotta let them
Yeah,
know.
I'd be like,
But
yeah.
I
And
feel like
let
if you're
them
just in
figure
the
that out.
talking
But
stage, if you're just in the talking stage, it's kind of like, I don't know. And maybe that's why, because they know he's not serious about you. Because I've also heard it's like, oh, well, they
yeah.
know he's not really for real about you. So that's why they're doing that. Or like they know stuff you don't know.
it goes back.
Or
It
whatever
goes.
he's conveying to them about you,
Yep.
and
It
that's why
goes
they
back
think it's appropriate.
it goes back to who you let know your business. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I experienced that front hand. And Jordan know exactly the girl I'm talking about. Broke my little heart. You know what I'm saying? And I would talk about her to like my D line bros and some of my O line bros and some other dudes. I'm like, look, man, she this, she bad, she that, nah, nah, nah. And the moment we have problems, and I'm like, look, we need a break. Every last one of them dudes got a chance. I mean, every last one of them. And I was like, dang, like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I thought, like I thought we had something. You know, so I experienced from front hand. I mean, front row seats. I'm on the court watching the game. Like, I seen it happen, play out, caught fades in the locker room about it. But it was because I was immature and I was allowing other people in on something that's supposed to be special, something that's supposed to
Mhm.
be sacred. You know what I'm saying? And that's just where we at in today's age, that people date and they get intimate without planning on being with each other forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you get those girls crashing out and them guys crashing out. You know, because of these things. So they just need to have more awareness and understanding of the power of intimacy and the power of the word love. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
stuff. I don't want to go too far into you. You know, when you tell somebody you love them, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're getting intimate, it does something to your mind. And yeah, I don't want to go too deep in because I might be on here talking for an hour like a preacher, you know. But I definitely experienced that. So that's why, like, as an adult, you gotta be careful. You can't tell everybody your business. You can't go run and tell
Yeah.
mom. You can't go run and tell uncle, because you gotta deal with it with your person. And if that's your person, it'll work out. If it's not, y'all gonna split, and that person gonna do whatever they want, no matter how bad it hurts
Yeah, and I think an element of that is also kind of like, I guess, protecting your person in that space too. Because if you're running around talking about them in a certain way, but then when you're with them and it's like, oh, I actually, love them, but now everyone that you're close with or whatever has this perception of them, it leads you into an uncomfortable space. And it also puts your partner in an uncomfortable space that they're not even aware that they're in with everybody that you cool with. And then it's like, how do you get yourself out of that? Like, how do you undo the damage that's been done so it can be, an appropriate or an acceptable, like, relationship that people aren't viewing in a negative way because of things that you've overshared about your relationship. So I guess, yeah, the being mindful about the info that you're sharing is definitely valid because everyone's going to receive it a different way and do what they want with that information that you share. And then I've seen it backfire firsthand, for me in my personal like dating life and things I've experienced. So yeah, I'm definitely emphasized with that lesson.
I think Hood said something really interesting when he was saying, like, you have to be careful what you share, and you're saying the same thing. You have to be careful what you share. Me personally, I don't like to share my like relationships like that. I'm not gonna really post a whole lot. It's like, if you know type of thing. It's no secret, it's no hiding, but it's like, I don't like to put it on display because I think, you know, it leaves room for mess. It leaves room for issues and problems and things like that, and for people to comment or say whatever. Um, and vice versa. Like, because I don't do that, I have people asking, like, well, why haven't you done posted XYZ? Like, are you still and it's like, why are you so worried about it? So I'm curious as to your thoughts on to post or not to post. Like, is it, if he's not posting you or they're not posting you, is are we feeling some type of way, or is it like, hey, we know what it is and let it be what it is?
you. I think I got a selfish way to answer that question. Um, like when I got married, I went back and deleted every picture with me with another girl, or even I deleted the majority of them, and that was such a drag. I mean, thousands of photos. I'm talking like, God, sleep, my finger cramping up. I can't take this no more. I'm staying up at night deleting pictures. I'm like, is it even worth it? So with
Yeah. How many pictures did you have posted?
like
Not just that
like
person.
2,000 photos. I ain't playing. I was down there scrolling with my thumb cramping up and stuff. I'm like, man, check this out. This how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna post 1 or 2 pictures every 2 months or something. I ain't posting that much. And and then with the job I share a lot of our achievements for school. So I don't post on there that much anyways. But if I ain't posting you, but I'm taking you out to eat, we spending quality time together. Man, you got that ring on your finger. You better get up out my face. Man, you getting every need met. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, posting does not matter. It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
It's kind of like
Because I feel like people could take
posting.
advantage of that too, though. In the same, like, well, yeah, I'm not posting you because it's not about that. I'm doing this, I'm holding it down. But then it's like, meanwhile,
But on social media, they're a whole different person, or
right,
they're still they're perceived as single on social
right.
media.
And so those
Essentially,
DMs
is
are
the case
popping. Those DMs
sometimes.
are popping.
Yeah, even though needs might be being met for the girl or whatever, sometimes the press to be posted is really so then the world also knows that you're not single. You shouldn't be sliding into these DMs or you shouldn't be doing whatever. But it's also like, yeah, I think there's another piece to that where it's like sometimes people want their social media or who they're viewed at as social media to be that for them. And it doesn't necessarily mean just because you're not posting, that means you're being single on social media or you're acting like that. But I think there's a gray area where there are some people in relationships who don't post because they don't want people to know that they're actually booed up, and they still want to be able to swipe and like and comment and pick and do whatever. And, that's that. Like, I've dated someone that didn't even want to be friends with me on social media. And I'm like, do you not want to be friends with me on social media because you don't want me to see what you're doing? Or is that so you're not seeing what I'm doing? Like, what's with that? So I had to unpack that. Like, I think there's levels to it. There's levels to it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yep.
Okay. My next question is, what is one thing that you wish women understood about the way men love?
That's a good question.
Nah. Um. Well, that's a great question because now that I'm older, excuse me, now that I'm older, I understand that we all have different love languages. Like for example, you got physical touch. And there's a couple other them I just can't remember on top of my head. But I know them. They're there. They in there somewhere, right? But I think like my love language for me, like I don't really you ain't got to do all that touching and rubbing my face and playing in my hair. Like that ain't really my love language. It's more like if I'm saying something and you value it. If I got a voice and I'm heard and I'm understood. So I think like I don't know which love language that is, but it's more like I can speak, like I can be heard. Like when I come in my house, you know what I'm saying? Any pain I dealt with outside of this house, I need to have to have a safe place in my home that I can talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my love language because I'll whoop anything that come to this door for anybody in my house that's considered my loved ones. Right? I'll go into a burning building for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll save you. But if I can't come home and have that safe area where I can talk without you maybe playing the victim or playing the blame game. You know what I'm saying? And not willing to listen, then it's miserable. You know what I'm saying? So I think I guess that would be meaning like if women would listen a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like would listen more without feeling like I'm attacking you. You know what I'm saying? Without feeling like I'm putting a knife to your neck saying, look, you did this, you fix it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. It's like without feeling attacked, listen. Like I don't even know if I said that good enough. But that I think every man's pain is sitting when he pull up to the house and you get that notification on Light 360, because I know y'all got it. Y'all got that Light 360 going on. And they pull up in the drive through and they go, ding! And it say he's been here for 12 minutes. Cause he know when he go in that door, he ain't gonna have nobody to talk to. You know,
Life 360 is crazy.
the ding!
Right. I
be,
have no like 360.
hey, I'm telling you, I got married friends and I be standing in the parking lot talking to them and I hear the same notification. I'm like, oh, you got Light 360, don't you? I'm like, yeah, you do. I got it too, man. Don't even worry about it. But like, I think just being able to listen without feeling judged or attacked is super like humbling. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like we can talk at the same level. But if I come in there, I had a hard ass a day. Man, the kid's going crazy. He ain't reading like he's supposed to be doing. And I tell you, like, why is he not doing what he's supposed to be? Well, you wasn't here. Okay, I'm finna put that helmet on. Now we finna play football. Come on, you the quarterback, I play D-line. Cause you done messed up now, sister. You done messed up.
I cannot.
But like stuff like that, and I'm sure like
Football is crazy.
I'm sure a guy can relate, but his story will be different from mine. But it's pretty much the same basics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I need to be able to talk to my woman, you know, because if I can't talk to her, man, Shirley across the street listen. You know what I'm saying? She might be 400 pounds, one leg, but she listen. You know, she listening. I need to talk to her now. But I'm being honest. Now we have a void in between our relationship that's just continuing to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how like crazy stuff start. You know what I'm saying? With lanes that people can't address, they can't figure it out. So you go to find that comfort somewhere else, and you start growing apart.
Right. Like your relationship has to be a safe space for both parties to be able to
Yes,
express what they're feeling or, wanting to convey, either whether it's someone's falling short in some end and you want more support here or more of this or less of that or whatever the case is. If you're in a relationship and can't openly have those safe space conversations, then it's like a ticking time bomb.
That be them women.
And sometimes it's the ladies that maybe want to know it all or don't want to provide that space for the man because they just think that, this is what they want. And this should be. But there's another side of that when it comes to dudes where they want to feel heard too.
Yep.
Basically.
Absolutely. And I'll be the one to say it, guys. I said I want my feelings to be heard. I want you to take consideration for my feelings because when you text me I need money, baby, let's go eat. And I'm trying to save for my truck or I'm trying to save for whatever it is I want. And I'm like, you know what? I'll make that sacrifice. Let's go eat. Oh, I just got your nails done, but 3 of them broke, baby. But they $75 a finger. Okay, I'll make that sacrifice. I guess I can't get my beer and go eat with my dog. You know what I'm saying? That I've been trying to meet with 3 months now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just like, you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
No, I hear where you're coming from for sure. I definitely hear where you're coming from. I think men need a safe place because we do put a lot of pressure on men to be like very strong and we kind of give them like that, like they don't ever have room to crack or, that kind of thing. And so I think that that's important to give men that space. So I definitely hear that. And I think it is Men's Mental Health Month this month. So I do think that is important, like to make sure that, we do give men that ability to have their
flowers
to express their emotions. Should we ask him about flowers? Like, because not those type of flowers, but like literal flowers. Should we ask him about that or should we leave that?
Let's ask about the literal flower piece and what you think is.
Take it away.
Okay, so maybe not so much currently trending at the moment, but I think it's still happening, honestly, but it just might not be on my news feeds. But when guys say like, I want my flowers or I'm, wishing someone would just give my flowers for my piece. When it comes to acknowledging, yes, someone really did good on this, or the pat on the back piece of giving the flowers, that's cool. But do you also think that men should be physically receiving flowers the way women long for wanting flowers or want to be able to put them in their kitchen or in the windowsill or whatever? Do you think that guys, like for example, Father's Day is coming up, should dads be getting
a
like
bouquet
of
flowers?
Yeah, like is that a thing or is it kind of like femme to be longing for flowers? Like what's the dynamic with that? And is it like the bros are talking in the group chat like, damn, my girl never give me no flowers. Like I want some real flowers. I'm over here buying her roses. She can't buy me one rose. Like, is that really a thing that men are feeling from ladies not showing up for them in that way? Or do they just want what the girls want? And
are you one of the girls? Tell us now.
Are you one of the girls? Because I never realized how bad men actually aspire to get some flowers, and they're taking it the way girls are taking it when we get flowers. And I just think, can you guys get your own gift that you like to receive from your girl and not be so sassy about it? But that's just my.
So you answered the question.
No, I answered it for me though. We're asking.
So do you want a bouquet of flowers?
If my wife bring me a bouquet of flowers, I'm gonna think she cheating on me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say, what dude gave you these flowers that you want to give to me? You know I don't want no flowers. Now, if flowers is a symbol, a symbolic symbol saying that, hey, I give you props for this, then yeah, I want that. But a thing of flower, man, keep that thing. I don't want that. I don't even know what my favorite flower is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I know two flowers: a rose and the Texas state flower. What's that thing called? It's blue. That's all I know. I don't know. I don't want no flowers. But if flowers is a symbol, you know what I'm saying, of something much more, then yeah, I want my flowers because life is hard. You know what I'm saying? It is tiring. Because we got to do the same stuff every day, and we're gonna die doing this stuff. So I want my flowers, but I don't want no physical flowers.
No, not physical flowers.
See, that's what I was. Okay, yeah, I want my flowers. Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do, because as a kid, we all got praised for some good that we did. That feeling never goes away. I got a raise at my job. I'm doing something good. They said we're moving you from manager to regional manager. I'm doing something good. That's my flowers, man. I want my flowers because that lets me know that I'm doing something right. If I don't ever get flowers, then it might not matter. You know what I'm saying? She might not care that what I'm doing or how productive I'm being with our family. And so yeah, I definitely want my flowers because that allows me that gets feedback. That's letting me know that, hey, this is good. This is working. This is bad. This isn't working.
So you want, the acknowledgement. You don't want the actual flowers. And these men of this generation are taking it literally and wanting the actual flowers.
Yeah,
so thank you for breaking it down for them so they understand what that means.
Is it sassy to want physical flowers?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. The only time I ever picked a flower up is when I stepped on it. You know what I'm saying? and like moved it off the grass field. Like, why is this flower growing here? I go to war on this football field. Or
I can't.
Maybe like Titus brings his mama flowers. I mean, I bring her. I don't know the last time I brought her flowers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But we go out to eat. She get gifts. So I guess that's her flowers. That Apple Watch or something. But yeah, I don't want no flowers, and I hope none of my offsprings want flowers. You know what I'm saying? Physical, because I'm gonna get up.
So are y'all clowning your homeboy in the group chat if he wants flowers?
Absolutely. I'm flaming him up. I was like, what else you want? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's real.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, I do have a friend that I truly believe will want flowers from his girl, and I ain't even gonna say anything. You know what I'm saying? I do believe he will want flowers. It's genuine. You know what I'm saying? He was raised differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, he likes his wine. You know what I'm saying? He likes his cheese with the little olives that be on the. He likes that with the sausage
The
on
charcuterie.
So him receiving flowers would be like romantic for him. That would be his wife or a girl being romantic.
Yeah. So I don't know. I only know one guy like that.
But he's not sassy.
I mean, but he don't play in that side of the court. But if you don't know him, you be like, you be doing one of these. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know him, but I know him, he just in touch with his feminine side. Like I said, like that's there ain't a whole bunch of dudes I know that's super in touch with the feminine side. But it ain't necessarily a problem if you my friend. On the outside, I'm flaming you. I'm just telling you the truth. If I don't know you, I'm probably gonna talk about you a little bit, you know. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad you answered that. That was a burning question. And typically, we like to do a spicy question, which we did ask. So y'all are going to have to tune in to catch the first part of it. I'm going to share my answer to it, and then we'll kind of continue the conversation a little bit. But the question was, you'll have to tune into our social media to hear the intro of it. But is it cool to still be friends with an ex or exes on social media? I didn't answer. They gave their answers. Hood double backed and kind of updated his answer. But I will say this. I think there's definitely boundaries for sure that have to be in place. So like if you are friends with your ex, I think you have to know, like Hood said, like it's hard when you've been intimate with somebody to then just be friends with them. Like that's just the nature of what it is. But I think if you're able to have certain boundaries where you're like, hey, we're cool, like we're just kind of, you're there and I'm here and I'm just, oh, okay, that's what they got going on. Okay, cool, whatever. I think that's one thing. But I think if there's like feelings there, I think if there is like tension, any form of tension, I don't think that's appropriate. So I don't know. I think it's messy. I saw a podcast, another podcast, and she was talking about how like don't allow social media to like reignite relationships that are dead because you're seeing them on social media. So like I wouldn't even have thought about you, but because I'm seeing your stories and I'm seeing you in this way, or you're posting in your bikini, or you're posting, a shirtless, whatever, and now I'm like, oh dang, like maybe there's something there, or they're sliding up on your IG story or just whatever, and it's like, oh, now I'm feeling like some type of way, but it's like the reality is that wouldn't even be the case, but social media is kind of, opening that door. I think that's hard too, and you have to be careful not to like slide down that road. So it's kind of my thought process on it.
I agree.
I like that. I almost feel like that goes with old friends too. Like sometimes social media, maybe you fell off with friends or something like that, and now maybe you guys never unfriended each other on Instagram, or maybe they're popping up as someone you may know now, or whatever the case is, and now it's like dang, like do I miss this friendship? Do I want to be friends with this person again? Is this something that we can repatch or whatever? So I feel like yeah, that's valid for friendships too.
And like for yourself, but also for your partner too. Like I think Hood brought up a good point of like if this caused turmoil in our relationship, I think that your partner should also respect that and make sure that they're not friends, with that ex or whatever. So just causes more issues.
Yeah, I think we're all aligned on the piece of like, if that specific ex created some type of turmoil, then they should be out the picture if you're now in a new relationship
100%.
and they created turmoil in that. Yeah.
I also think sometimes too, though, from a selfish standpoint, it's like I do kind of want you to look at my story and see how I glowed up on you, or like I want you to see these photos and see, like, I think there's like a part of that,
Where I'm at now.
yeah, or like a little nosiness to it, like what are they up to?
A little flex. Ain't nothing wrong with a little flex. Oh man.
Well, Samira, um, you kind of have kicked us off with the products I'm using segment, and so go ahead and show us what you're using this week. What you want to
I
showcase?
will take it away. I should actually go grab the physical product, but I know that Jordan's got me and she's about to put it up. And first, I would just like to say the product that I'm using, in accompanied with other products too, but this is my like end of skincare routine, last step that I'm putting on once I've done like a toner, like anti, blemish serum, whatever the case is. I'm sealing it all in with Augustinus Batter's Rich Cream. which is a newer product that I'd say I've been using it for probably like almost a year, like total, but I absolutely love it. It is so hydrating. Sometimes I get done with my skincare routine and think I don't even want to put on makeup because my skin is so like flawless and hydrated. And I mean, not everyone might feel like that after they're done with skincare routine, but me personally, some days I just say on the side, I'm not even wearing any type of foundation because my skin will stay hydrated and look smooth and nice. And last time I saw Jordan, I was like, just put the back of your hand on my face and feel it, and she can attest.
It was, yeah, it was
very soft and
very good quality, and your skin looked very clear and just like clean. It looked really good.
Yeah, so this is my new product. And
where can we find this?
You can actually find it at Sephora. You can order it online on their actual website. Like if you go to AB or Augustine, Augustinus Batter, their website. It's also at any like major department store that has like a skincare section. So like, for example, like Neiman Marcus, you can find it in a space like that too. But I've also seen it inside Sephora. So for girlies that are just going to Sephora on a regular, they do have a display there for this specific brand. Yes, it's pricey, but yes, they have different sizes. So you can kind of navigate it that way as well. But I actually had a chance to meet some of the brand ambassadors for this specific product. And they had this really cool machine that it basically did like a 3D type of scan to your face to just peep like the hydration, your pores coverage, like your sun damage from UV, just all of that. And it tells you your skin age from your face. So I'm actually only 23 on my face.
Okay.
And for you guys know, I'm about to be 29 in a couple weeks. So that's really good because I'm looking like 6 years, 6 years younger than I really am. So
I want to do this quiz.
Yeah, no, it's like you literally have to come to the store and then you put your whole face inside of this machine and they will scan it. And then it will tell you like, your sun damage, how hydrated your skin is, how pigmented, like all of those pieces. And it was a really cool breakdown. So that was fun to see. And I got to do it with some other people and we were just laughing about our ages. But yeah, so happy to know I'm only 23. That's why I'm still getting ID'd.
I mean, that's a good thing. Can never complain about that. So
something about Black people not, what is it? What's that saying? We all know it.
I actually use that product too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was keep it a secret. Might as well tell it. I use that product. I put it on my elbow right here. You can see.
Oh, okay, because they do have the cream. They have all kinds of different like. You think he's BSing? They really do have the cream.
Yeah, I'm playing. I don't use that.
His wife can't put him on.
He needs to use it.
I'm
about to show y'all my product. My product is the Unbrush. Okay.
What is that?
I even have one right here. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Before I got on, I had to comb my hair, but it is like the best detangler. And I don't have a lot of time these days to do what I used to do. Like, my hair is like knotting up for some reason really bad, but this is like the bristles are pretty soft. So it's cool because like you just start from the bottom and it detangles in like half the time of what I used to do. And I would not say that like if it was just to say that, like it really does work. So I think all the curly girlies and guys need the Unbrush. I'm sold on it. I really like it. I even use it on my baby and like she's just like chilling. She doesn't have any tears with any tangles. So it's a really good product. So go get the Unbrush, okay? If you're having problems.
If Jordan's vouching for the Unbrush, then it's probably valid because she's tender-headed. So girlies,
because
go get this brush, you better go get this brush.
The way that she be pulling my scalp, yeah, I am tender-headed.
No, Jordan wants to do whatever you be like.
No, she's rough.
No, I'm not. Because I thought I was tender-headed until I attempted to do your hair. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not tender-headed, apparently. If that's what tender-headed
I mean,
is.
you're probably just used to your own hair pressure. That's probably why you're not tender-headed, because the way you be.
I'm trying to remember the name of this toothpaste I use. I can't figure it out. I can't remember the name of it. But as you can see, you know what I'm saying?
Your teeth are super white.
They're pretty white. They're pretty
You
white.
can drop the link and we'll add it once we post the video.
Yeah, just let us know what it is.
Don't let Jordan see it because she in competition with me. She thinks she in competition.
No, he's in competition with me. He's always like, "Are my teeth right in theaters?" And I'm like, "Not yet, not yet. Maybe one day."
Right now, I'm not gonna hold you.
I mean, but we also have to take into consideration the contrast.
No dentist, you know what I'm saying? This is hard work and dedication. 2 minutes a session. You feel me? Just
circular motion.
Yeah. Then I do the back and forth motion. Oh man, dang, I did that. All
right. But yeah, let us know, after this, let us know what your toothpaste is and we'll drop it down below. But thanks for joining us today. We appreciate having you on the pod. It's been a long time coming. You've seen us kind of when we were starting it up, helped us get there with the song. So we appreciate it. And maybe we'll have you back. Who knows? Maybe we'll have some more locker room conversations and questions that pop up after this.
We'll do a poll to see who wants to see Hood back on this pod. Yes. Go from there. But like Jordan said, thank you so much for taking the time to be able to hop on this episode with us and just chat and collaborate and be able to share some laughs. I think that this was a great episode.
Why you fake crying?
Hey, no, I had a blast on the podcast. Thank you for letting me come on. This was super fun, super awesome. I learned some new stuff. I also got to share some insights of of my upcoming and how like my philosophy of the world and how I view it. And I surely appreciate you guys letting me come on here and share the live with you guys. And bring
off your chest
off and say bring Hood back. Say bring Hood back because I'm gonna come back even more prepared. I got something for y'all. Bring me back. Something juicy.
He gonna get it off his chest. That's what I've gathered.
As long as the juice isn't about me, I'm good.
Oh, is that both?
He does know.
If the chat asks about you, I gotta tell him.
I don't know. We might not have him back then. No, I'm just kidding.
He's over here hyping up that next episode.
Right, he is. He is. The teaser for the next episode.
This is what you should do. You should let them post questions, and the most a question that occurs the most should be the question she got to answer.
Okay, we'll consider.
Easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? Taking candy from a baby.
Well, thanks you guys for tuning in today. You survived another episode of Cousin to Cousin. Make sure you're following us on social media at Cousin to Cousin Pod for important updates and our latest episodes.
Thanks, guys.